Hello, and welcome to the Retiree's Handbook, our weekly market alert video. As usual, we're going to have more fun than a human being should be allowed to have when talking about all this financial stuff. The core issue is the future of your food assistance benefits. There has been an unexpected announcement, a last-minute correction from the USDA. While technically this is a slightly better outcome than initially forecast, let's not be fooled. Most families are still facing a massive and painful reduction in the funds needed to put food on the table. But the scariest part isn't just the November numbers. It's about the uncertainty and confusion this has generated at the state level, leading to potential payment delays for weeks. And, even more critically, we will address the question everyone is asking as the shutdown approaches day 37. What happens in December? We will guide you through an analysis of this systemic crisis. We will provide a practical, 6-point plan detailing exactly what you must do immediately to protect yourself and your family, from checking your EBT card daily to meal planning to stretch your reduced funds. Stay tuned. The information we share is vital for navigating this crisis.
Welcome on the YouTube channel, The Retiree's Handbook. If you enjoy our content, leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get right into it. If you're one of the 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP benefits, the past few weeks have been a total whirlwind of anxiety, right? You've got conflicting reports, scary headlines. It's been pretty much impossible to figure out what is really going on with November's payments. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to break down exactly what's happening, why it happened, and most importantly, what you can do about it right now. Okay, let's just dive right into the heart of it. The big, scary thing everyone's been talking about. You've probably heard that November SNAP benefits were going to be slashed in half, a massive 50% cut. For millions of families, that news was just absolutely devastating. We're talking about a potential loss of hundreds of dollars that you need for groceries. That one piece of information, it just caused a tidal wave of panic. And you know what? For very good reason. Okay, I want to give you the most important update first, right off the bat, so you can just take a deep breath. That initial report, the one about a 50% cut, it was wrong. The USDA has now officially come out and said it was all based on a calculation error. So look, while the situation is still incredibly serious, that worst-case scenario that was announced just a little while ago is thankfully not what's happening. So here's the new official info. Instead of getting only 50% of your benefits, you're now set to receive 65% of your normal November benefits. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Wait a minute. Why is it still being cut at all? And that right there is the crucial question. This isn't a benefit increase. It's just a correction to how big the cut is. So yeah, it's better news than before, but let's be real, it's definitely not good news because millions of people are still going to face a pretty significant shortfall. So what does a 35% cut actually look like in, real dollars? Because percentages can feel a little abstract, right? But the impact on your grocery budget is very, very real. For different families, this is where the reality of the situation is really going to hit home. Just look at these numbers here. Let's take a single person who normally gets about $298 a month. They were looking at a drop to just $149. Can you imagine? Now they'll get $193. Okay, that extra $44, that can mean several more meals, which is huge. But for a family of 5, the difference is even more stark. Their benefit would have absolutely plummeted from over $1,100 down to just $591. The new amount is $769. So yes, it's a big improvement from that initial panic, but we have to be crystal clear about what this still means. Because here's the thing, even with this correction, that same family of 5 is still losing over $400 in food assistance this month. $414 to be exact. That is a massive, massive hole in any family's budget. That's the difference between having enough food for the whole month and having to make some incredibly tough choices in that last week or two. This is still, without a doubt, a crisis for millions. So how in the world did we even get here? How does a number that affects 42 million people just change so dramatically, almost overnight? Well, the story behind this involves a government shutdown, an emergency fund, and a really, really big math mistake. Let's unpack the whole sequence of events that led to all of this chaos and confusion. Okay, so at the very center of this whole mess is something called the SNAP contingency fund. The easiest way to think of it is like the program's emergency savings account. It's designed for exactly these kinds of situations, like a long government shutdown where the normal flow of money is just frozen. So when the government shut down, officials had to turn to this fund to pay for November's benefits. The problem wasn't just using the fund, it was figuring out exactly how much money was actually in it. You can really see the roller coaster of information on this timeline. First, boom, the shutdown starts, freezing all the money. Then, in mid-October, comes that alarming announcement of a 50% cut, all based on what they thought was in the contingency fund. But then, late October, they realized their math was wrong. They had miscalculated how much money was actually available. And that's what led to the November 7th announcement that they could drain the entire fund to cover 65% of benefits, not just 50%. But this last-minute change, even though it's better for people, has created its own set of massive problems. And here are those problems. Because this change came so late in the game, states are now scrambling to recalculate millions of individual benefit amounts. And this isn't like flipping a switch, It's a huge administrative nightmare. The biggest worry right now is that payments could be delayed for weeks. We could actually see a situation where some families in a state get paid while their neighbors don't, just because of processing backlogs. The whole system is just overwhelmed, and there's a real risk of inconsistent and delayed payments all over the country. And it's just so important to remember who we're talking about here. This isn't some abstract policy debate. This affects 42 million of our neighbors. We're talking about single moms trying to make it work, veterans who've served our country, folks with disabilities on fixed incomes, and seniors who are already having to choose between food and medicine. And it also hits working families who rely on SNAP just to supplement low wages and make ends meet. This cut and all the chaos around it, it just hits the most vulnerable people in our communities the hardest. Okay, so given all this uncertainty, the most important thing we can do is be proactive. We've talked a lot about the problem, so now let's focus on the solution, or at least the best way to get through this really tough month. I'm going to walk you through some real, practical steps you can take right now to protect your family and stretch every single dollar. All right, these are your 4 most critical, immediate actions. Number 1, start checking your EBT balance every single day. Don't just wait around. You want to know the second those benefits arrive. Number 2, put a date on your calendar. If you see nothing by November 21st, it's time to start calling your state's SNAP office. 3, meal planning. It's no longer just a good idea. It is an absolute necessity. Plan out every breakfast, lunch, and dinner to make sure not a single thing goes to waste. And finally, number 4, and this is a big one, locate your local food banks now. Don't wait until the cupboards are empty. Have their locations and hours ready just in case. All right, let's build on that with a few more really powerful tips. When you're shopping, really focus on affordable, high-protein foods like beans, lentils, and eggs. They'll keep you full for longer. If you can, shopping at discount grocery stores can make a huge difference, and always be on the lookout for coupons and those manager special stickers, especially on meat and produce that are getting close to their sell-by date. Oh, and check if your local farmers market has a matching program. Some of them will literally double your SNAP dollars for fresh produce. And this is super important. If your income has dropped or your expenses have gone up recently, report that to your SNAP office right away. You might actually qualify for a higher benefit amount even with this reduction. I really want to end this section on an important note. If you are feeling stressed out or angry or just plain scared right now, please know that those feelings are completely valid. Needing help to buy groceries is not a personal failure. You are not lazy. You are dealing with the fallout of a systemic problem, a government shutdown, and a huge bureaucratic error. You have every single right to be frustrated. But here's the thing that's really terrifying. The administration is completely draining that SNAP contingency fund to make these November payments happen. And that leaves us with a scary, scary question. What happens on December 1st if the government is still shut down? With that emergency fund totally empty, where is the money going to come from? This isn't just about getting through November anymore. It's about a looming crisis for 42 million Americans. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like.
So, reflecting on the facts presented today, I believe we need to address the reality of this situation without mincing words. My personal opinion is that this situation is completely not okay. The fact that 42 million Americans, including veterans, seniors, and single mothers, are being forced to live in fear and anxiety due to governmental disorganization is a severe ethical failure. What I find staggering is the lack of financial accuracy. How can the USDA make a calculation error in determining how much money is available in the SNAP Emergency Fund? The source highlighted that varying estimates regarding the contingency fund range from $5 billion to $9.2 billion, and the confusion stems from the fact that funds are spread across different accounts. This is reckless management of funds meant for the survival of the most vulnerable citizens. It is not a logistical problem, it is a systemic failure. Finally, the decision to fully deplete the emergency fund to cover November is the scariest move. This means that if the government shutdown continues, there will be no backup money for food assistance in December. The administration is essentially gambling with the food security of millions of people, turning a vital assistance program into a political hostage. As was suggested, the only way through this is to build community and share information and resources. Remember, you are not failing because you are struggling. The system is failing you.
Hello there. Are you currently navigating the complexities of retirement or perhaps rapidly approaching that significant life milestone? The Retiree's Handbook is your dedicated YouTube guide for all retirement and pension news right here in the United States. It's crucial to stay informed about your financial future. We cover understanding pension benefits and maximizing your Social Security, ensuring you have the knowledge you need. Our channel provides actionable financial tips for retirees, helping you confidently make the most of your golden years. Don't miss vital information that impacts your peace of mind. Join our growing community today. Thank you for watching. Your financial security in retirement is incredibly important, and we're here to help you every step. Please subscribe to the Retiree's Handbook channel to never miss our latest updates and valuable insights. Join our community for continuous support, future pension news, and helpful resources to empower your retirement journey.